Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into sunny Milford High School, as Milford TV is happy to once again bring you coverage of Lady Hawks softball. What a matchup we have for you on tap this afternoon as your Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks get set to take on the Kelly Rex Division King Philip Lady Warriors. I am Tim Coet, Rob O'Keefe on the camera as usual. And for Milford, their hot stretch of games reached at least a little bit of a speed bump in their last game. Of course, a big 8-game winning streak, including that memorable 10-inning walk-off win against the Franklin Lady Panthers back on April 29th. They put that 8-game win streak to the test on May 1st in a matchup against the undefeated Taunton Lady Tigers, and unfortunately, Milford coming up short in that game, losing by a final score of 9-6. The girls did jump out to a lead in that game, but some miscues defensively really cost them over the course of the middle innings. So that broke up the 8-game win streak. They look to get right back into the win column today, but what a tall task it is for Milford this afternoon, taking on the 7-2 Lady Warriors. And this has been a team that, pitching-wise, has been particularly on point all season long. Just 2 losses on the year, a 6-5 loss to Taunton and a 7-0 loss against Bishop Fian. Other than that, every other game that they've won this season, they have not allowed a single run. Shutout victories in 7 games on the season. So it will be the tough pitching of the Lady Warriors against the very hot offense of the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks. An excellent matchup on tap. We will have the starting lineups and the game's first pitch when we come back next here on Milford TV. And we welcome you right back into Milford High School, ladies and gentlemen. Tim Coet getting set to see the first pitch here this afternoon between the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks and the visiting King Philip Lady Warriors. Another great matchup. We mentioned it in our coverage of the softball game against Franklin last week. Milford in the midst of a stretch against some very tough competition from the Kelly Rex Division. That big extra inning victory against Franklin last Wednesday afternoon. And then unfortunately the tough luck 9-6 defeat against the Taunton Tigers. Still 2 more games on tap against the Kelly Rex Division, with this game coming up here today and their next game coming up a little bit later this week against their rivals from North Attleboro. Of course, the only team to defeat Milford en route to their 2nd state championship back in 2013. So a lot of rivalries being explored here over these last couple of days, and excited to get this one started here this afternoon. Such great pitching between these two teams this season. Looking at the Hockomock League pitching stats coming into today's games, of the top 8 pitchers in the Hockomock League statistically right now, 4 of them are represented on these two teams, with Kali Magane, an outstanding pitcher for King Philip, coming into action today with 44 1/3 innings pitched and a .63 ERA. Jen Hutnian of King Philip also represented on this list, and the 2 top pitchers for Milford, Allie Atherton and Kelly Reichert, also amongst the top 8 statistically in the Hockomock League on the season. So great pitching between these two teams and a lot of great offense as well. Ground rules being gone over right now between the 2-man umpiring crew, the 2 coaches for these teams, and the captains just breaking up now. So without further ado, we will get to this afternoon's starting lineups. First, for the visiting King Philip Lady Warriors, their lineup looks like this. Leading it off is the center fielder, Krista Wagner, with Maddie Ogrizik, the left fielder, batting second. Kali Magane, the starting pitcher, bats third, with Renee Poirier, the first baseman, in the cleanup spot. Brianna Sebio plays right field and bats 5th, with Jen Hutnian, the third baseman, batting 6th. Casey Hutnian plays second base and bats 7th, with Kaylee Bench, the designated player, batting 8th. And in the 9th spot is the shortstop, Ashley Hessian. And for the Milford Lady Scarlet Hawks, their lineup this afternoon looks like this. Sydney Pounds once again leads it off and plays center field. Emily Pierre-Gustavo plays second base today and bats second, with Taylor LeBrun, the catcher, batting third. Allie Pierre-Gustavo, the hero of that extra inning game against Franklin, she bats cleanup and plays first base, with Maggie Farrell playing right field and batting 5th. In the 6th spot is the shortstop for today's game, Jill Powers, with Caitlin DeCapua, the designated player, batting 7th. Maddie Bonvino, also an offensive standout against Franklin. She plays third base today and bats 8th, with Jenny Levine playing left field and batting 9th. And your pitching matchup for this afternoon's game, we will see Kali Magane in the bottom half of this inning for the King Philip Lady Warriors. In the circle for the Milford Lady Hawks once again is number 21, Allie Atherton. And we saw just a grueling effort out of Atherton last week against Franklin in the last game that we covered for Milford softball. That game, of course, lasting 10 innings. And Allie Atherton was able to pitch into the 9th inning in that game with a very tough pitch count. She finally ran out of gas in that 9th inning, ultimately giving up 3 runs on 3 hits in the inning before Kelly Reichert was called upon in relief to close out the inning. But again, Milford coming up with 3 runs of their own in the bottom of the 9th inning of that game to tie it once again, sending it to the 10th inning. And ultimately, Milford was able to win it in walk-off fashion with that home run from Allie Pierre Gustavo. So will we see more heroics of that nature here at home this afternoon? We are about to find out as these two teams are set to go. Krista Wagner, the center fielder and leadoff hitter for King Philip, steps in on the left side. And Allie Atherton ready to deliver her first pitch. And it is outside for ball 1. The infield in very tight all the way around for Milford. The middle infielders just a few steps behind the pitcher's circle. Here's the 1-0 pitch, offering a bunt, and coming up empty was Krista Wagner. That evens up the count at a ball and a strike. Top of the first inning just underway here in Milford, and it is just a picture-perfect day for softball. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Now outside once again, and the count goes to 2-1. It is safe to say spring weather has arrived. It actually feels a little bit more like a summer afternoon here in Milford this afternoon with the temperature 82 degrees at game time. We have waited a long time for weather like this, as now Atherton falls behind in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. After dealing with snowstorm after snowstorm in the winter, it almost felt like this sort of weather was never going to arrive, but it is here now. A chance for everyone to enjoy as this pitch is skied out to left center field. Ranging over is Sydney Pounds to make the catch, and Wagner is retired for out number 1. Atherton able to get the leadoff batter despite falling behind 3-1, and now she will deal with Maddie Ogrizik, the left fielder. Back-to-back left-handed batters to open up this King Philip lineup. The first pitch of the at-bat is high and tight for ball 1. Allie Atherton with a very memorable windup gathering out in front before the windup and the pitch. And the 1-0 misses outside, so 2 balls and no strikes the count. A signature delivery for the sophomore starting pitcher, Allie Atherton. She steps back on the pitching rubber with a count of 2-0 on the batter Ogrizik. Ready with another offering, and it's waved at and missed. Getting that one past the bat of Maddie Ogrizik, and the count goes to 2-1. The King Philip bench supporting their batter as this one is swung on and hit foul and out of play. Ogrizik chasing a pitch a little bit off the outside edge, and the count now evens at 2-2. You'll notice a change in the uniforms for the Lady Hawks since last we saw. Wearing their new camo style jerseys to start out the season, but back now in their traditional red home jerseys. As the 2-2 pitch is hit foul again up over the backstop and out of play. And another 2-2 pitch, that ball scattering some of the tennis players over on the tennis courts as these two schools match up in tennis this afternoon as well. Another 2-2 pitch on the way, and another foul ball in foul ground off the third base side, and again out of play. So right now the Milford bench players scattering to recover these foul balls. Ogrizik putting on a tough at bat here. Atherton ready as the pitch just misses. LeBrun trying to frame it, but it just could not grab that outside corner, and now a full count. A nice long at bat being put on here by the King Philip left fielder. Here is the 3-2 pitch, and it's not close for ball 4. So good at bat put on by Ogryzik, and she wins the battle working the 1-out walk. And now it will be pitcher against pitcher as Kali Magane, the starter for the Lady Warriors, steps in on the right side. And Magane really is a dual threat, not only the ace of the staff here pitching-wise for King Philip, but also coming into the game this afternoon batting .429 on the season. The runner bluffs off of first. The pitch is a called strike 1. LeBrun looks Ogryzik back to the first base bag. "12 hits and 28 at bats so far on the season for Magane. And a called strike 2. Magane also with a pair of home runs and 8 runs batted in on the season, so certainly putting together a star-studded resume on this 2015 softball season. Down 0-2, here's the pitch. Up and away, no chase out of Magane, and the count goes to 1-2. Again, LeBrun very conscious of that runner at first base, not afraid to send a snap throw down if need be. A good accurate arm out of the co-captain. Another 1-2, this is hit on the ground, foul towards third base. Magane up now, Renee Poirier, the first baseman, to follow. A runner on first base with 1 out in the inning. Atherton ready. The runner takes off. The pitch is tapped down the third base line, but it will kick foul again. Ogryzik was running on the pitch, but she retreats to the first base bag, and so King Philip making Atherton throw a decent amount of pitches here in the top of the first inning. Atherton winds and fires. This pitch hit fair towards third base. Going right to first with the throw was Maddie Bonvino. Not chancing the throw to second base to try to cut down the lead runner. So safe at second base is Ogryzik. Magane retired on the 5-3 ground out. 2 outs now for Renee Poirier. A runner now in scoring position for the Lady Warriors, but there are 2 outs. Atherton's first pitch of the at-bat is inside for a ball. The middle infielders trying to keep close tabs on the runner at second base. The 1-0 pitch, this is hit down the right field line. Could be trouble if it stays fair, but it is a foul ball. Gathering it in foul ground was Maggie Farrell. Defensively for Milford, it's Taylor LeBrun behind the plate, Maddie Bonvino at third, Jill Powers at short, Emily Pierre-Gustavo at second, and Allie Pierre-Gustavo at first. Left to right in the outfield, Jenny Levine, Sydney Pounds, and Maggie Farrell. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. And the next pitch misses for ball 2. Poirier settles back into the box. Atherton ready with the next pitch. It misses once again. And now it's a 3-ball, 1-strike count on the batter. Atherton's next pitch is swung on and hit off the top of the first base dugout, foul, and that will fill up the count. Aggressive in the box was Poirier, swinging at that 3-1 pitch. So now 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. The runner takes off from second as this pitch is lined up the middle. That's going to get down for a base hit. Waved around to the plate is the runner Ogrizik. The throw to the plate sails all the way to the backstop, and that allows Poirier to get into second base easily. And so King Philip able to jump on top here with a first inning run. They lead it 1-0. So credit Poirier with an RBI single. She took second base on the throw. No error charge. She would have gotten to second base regardless. As offering at the first pitch is Sebio. A sort of excuse me swing. She sends it down the first base line, but it rolls foul. And no ball, 1 strike count on Sebio, the hottest hitter in this King Philip lineup. The 3rd highest batting average in the Hockomock League coming into today's action at .594. Takes a pitch high. Handled cleanly by Taylor LeBrun. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count. 19 hits and 32 at-bats for Sebio. She has a home run and 3 runs batted in. Sends a high fly ball down the left field line into foul ground. Jenny Levine going over as far as she could, but that ball is out of play. A 1 ball, 2 strike count. Allie Atherton looking to end the inning right here with no further damage done on the scoreboard. Poirier, the runner at second base. Here is the 1-2 pitch, and it's a liner back up the middle. That's going to get down for a hit. Cut off by Sydney Pounds, but to the plate with the second run of the inning is Renee Poirier. It's a 2nd straight RBI single in the inning, this time by Brianna Sebio, and King Philip is able to take a 2-0 lead. So the walk certainly a problem in this inning for Atherton after recording the first out of the inning, walking Maddie Ogrizik. She came around to score, and now back-to-back base hits have produced a 2nd run. And we've seen it now in the last couple of games that we've covered, these first inning troubles for Allie Atherton. As this pitch is popped up back behind home plate, LeBrun going as far as she can go, but that ball drifts out of play and kicks off of the bleachers. So a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Jen Hutnian, the 3rd baseman, the 6th batter in the King Philip lineup to come to the plate in the inning. Atherton's next pitch is high. Atherton not allowing any runs in the first inning against Franklin. Did allow an infield base hit, but then was able to strand that runner as this pitch is popped up on the infield, playable for the shortstop, Jill Powers. She makes the catch for the out that ends the inning, but a walk and 2 hits in the inning for King Philip, and they are able to take an early 2-0 lead. The Lady Hawks will take their first swings of the game when we return here on Milford TV. Well, the Milford offense getting set to attempt to accomplish what precious few teams have been able to do against Kali Magane and this King Philip pitching staff so far this season, and that is to produce any runs. Again, we mentioned it right off the top of the broadcast. King Philip with a 7-2 record on the season. And in their 7 victories, they have allowed a total of 0 runs. 11-0 the win over Sharon, 4-0 the win over North Attleboro, 8-0 the win over Attleboro, a 13-0 win over Coyle Cassidy, 1-0 decision over Franklin. And in their last 2 games, 9-8 victories over Stoughton, and 8-0 victory over Oliver Ames, as Magane makes quick work of Sydney Pounds in the first at bat of this bottom of the first inning, a strikeout to open the inning. The only losses for King Philip on the season, a 6-5 loss to undefeated Taunton and a 7-0 loss against the non-conference Bishop Fee and Shamrocks. And for this Milford offense, already a deficit to overcome, a 2-0 score. As Emily Pierre Gustavo gets a piece of that pitch, sends it foul and out of play, and she is down 0-2. It was a rare hitless day here last Wednesday afternoon between Milford and Franklin for Emily Pierre Gustavo after getting off to such a red-hot start on the season. However, she was able to work a key walk in that game with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning to force in the tying run. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and that pitch misses outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You can just see the great velocity out of Kali Magane as this pitch is fouled off the backstop. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Magane to open up this bottom of the first inning, quickly 2 away. And again, looking at the statistics in the Hockomock League, Kali Magane with 84 strikeouts in her 44 1/3 innings pitched. You could make it 86 now, as she has K'd the first 2 batters she's faced here in the bottom of the first inning. And Taylor LeBrun, a swing and a miss to go down 0-2. Magane looking to strike out the side in order in this bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch, and just getting a piece off the end of the bat. That one will drift foul. A defensive swing out of the Milford catcher. And you can see it's almost a overhand type delivery out of Magane. An over the head windup, and then coming in with that hard underhand pitch. Pretty impressive stuff out of the King Philip starting pitcher. A count now of 1 ball and 2 strikes. Back into that windup. And this pitch is hit in the air out to the edge of the infield dirt, where the second baseman, Casey Hutnian, is able to make the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 bottom half of the first inning. We've played 1 now from Milford. A 2-0 lead for the King Philip Lady Warriors as you enjoy coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. The bottom third of the King Philip order coming to the plate as we enter into the top of the second inning. A 2-0 lead for King Philip over Milford. Two teams who won their respective divisions within the Hockomock League last year. King Philip walking away with the division win in the Kelly Rex. Milford co-champs of the Davenport along with Oliver Ames. And Allie Atherton starts off with a called strike 1 against Casey Hutnian, the second baseman. Atherton's next pitch misses outside. Atherton needing to rely a little bit more on location of pitches than her counterpart in this game. You can see that Magane has the ability to just get the ball past bats with her velocity. But Atherton ahead in the count here against Hutnian by a count of 1-2. The leadoff batter here in the top of the second inning. The windup and the pitch. This is lofted out to center field. Just a few steps to her right. Sydney Pounds is able to make the catch, aligned perfectly. And out number one is recorded. Now here is Kaylee Bench, the designated player. We should note that flexed out of the starting lineup for the King Philip Lady Warriors is their catcher, Melissa DiFilippo, playing only defensively behind the plate, as King Philip opts for both the designated player and pitcher in their starting lineup. As a heavy gust of wind blows from left to right across the field, kicking up all kinds of dirt. Play momentarily paused. It is a warm day here at the field, but pretty breezy. Right now the wind blowing in towards the plate, although we have seen it at times gust across the field, as we just saw with that momentary cloud of dust. Hard ground ball to shortstop, played by Jill Powers. She has to hustle the throw across the way, but she gets it to Ali Pierre-Gustavo in time. 2 up and 2 down here in the top of the second. Jill Powers, a solid glove at shortstop for the Lady Hawks. We saw her make a nice leaping catch in extra innings against Franklin last week. Makes a nice play there. 2 outs in the inning now for the number 9 hitter, Ashley Hessian, who sends the ball hard off the backstop for strike 1. Hessian up on the right side with 2 away and the base is empty. Atherton looking for a shutdown inning after allowing 2 runs on 2 hits in the first. Here's the pitch. This is hit out to shallow. You can make that on the infield. A little deceptive off the bat. That stayed right on the infield. An easy play for Jill Powers, who makes the catch. And it is indeed a 1-2-3 top of the second inning. On to the home half of the inning we go, with Milford trailing King Philip by a score of 2-0 here on Milford TV. Ali Pierre-Gustavo leads it off for the Lady Hawks here in the bottom of the second inning against Kali Magane, who had a dominating 1-2-3 first inning. Starts off with a first pitch strike. Ali Pierre-Gustavo, a 2-home run day against Franklin in the team's last home game. Sends a fly ball out to shallow center field, played by Krista Wagner for the first out of the inning. It's the best contact we've seen against Kali Magane in these first 4 batters, but it goes as out number 1. Now here's Maggie Farrell.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll see if the left-handed batter Farrell has any better read on the pitches from the righty throwing Kali Magane. Starts off with strike 1. And now swings at the 0-1 pitch, pops it up in foul ground behind the plate. The catcher, Melissa DiFilippo, is able to make the catch, nearly stumbled over the catcher's mask. Two up and 2 down here in the bottom of the second. You see in the big leagues, catchers discarding the mask a ways away from the plate on those pop-ups, not wanting to end up having it interfere with them making the catch. Always a good strategy. A no ball, 1 strike count, meanwhile, on Jill Powers, looking to extend the inning. That one's slipping out of the hand a bit of Magane. It drifts high and away for ball one. The next pitch swung on and missed. It'll be interesting to see if second time through this Milford lineup they can make the adjustment on the fastball of Magane. As this pitch is tapped foul to the backstop, right off the end of the bat from Jill Powers. And it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs and the base is empty. The windup and the pitch. Offering it a high one is Powers. She sends it foul down the right field line, but that is out of play. A lot of spectators just beyond the field of play down the right field line. It looks to be the most popular place for the fans to congregate today. Also a decent amount of fans here behind the plate next to the third base dugout. Another 1-2 pitch, another pop foul, ranging out of play. So Jill Powers putting on a nice tough at bat here, with Caitlin DeCapua on deck hoping to get a chance. An inside pitch lofted foul out of play, this time off to the left. Powers trying to stay up there until she sees a pitch she can handle. The next one on the way, and it's in the dirt. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the inning. Magane's next offering. This is hit on the ground towards shortstop, fielded by Hessian. She throws to first and gets it there a step ahead of Jill Powers for the out that ends the inning. So a quality at bat put in by Jill Powers, but in the end it's the second straight 1-2-3 inning to start the outing for Kali Magane. We've played 2 now for Milford, and it's a 2-0 lead for King Philip as you watch coverage of Milford High School athletics on Milford TV. Back up to the top of the King Philip batting order as we enter into the top of the third inning, a 2-0 lead for King Philip. Krista Wagner now up for the second time. She flew out to Sydney Pounds in her first at bat. Tim Coet and Rob O'Keefe bringing you coverage of Milford High School softball as Wagner bunts back towards the pitcher circle, and she is going to beat the throw. Sending a slow roller out towards the circle. No chance for the catcher to make a play. Atherton was the only one who could get to it, but even played cleanly. No chance to get the speed of Wagner at first base, so she reaches with a bunt single. Breaks up a string of 4 straight retired by Atherton, and now set to deal with Maddie Ogrizik, who put on a lengthy at bat in the first inning, ultimately working a 1-out walk. Meanwhile, she turns to bunt here with the runner taking off at first base, but the ball sent foul. And Ogrizik starts off with an 0-1 count. The wind continues to be fairly steady, now blowing from right to left, so it's changed direction a number of times here just in the first 3 innings. Runner takes off again, bunting at a high pitch is Ogrizik, and she sends it foul again, smothered in foul territory by LeBrun, not wanting that to kick back onto the playing surface. So the KP left fielder down 0-2. Official count from the home plate umpire, 0-1. getting the confirmation now, no pitch on that first bunt attempt by Allie Atherton to the sit-bat against Maddie Ogrizik. So now the official count, 1 ball and 2 strikes after a called strike 2 delivered in by Atherton. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning, and one out in the inning. This pitch sent back to the mound. And the throw to first base there in time. So there are 2 outs now in the inning. The bases are empty. So Atherton looking to finish off the inning here against her counterpart, Kali Magane. She swings at the first pitch, sends it to deep shortstop, in and out of the glove of Jill Powers, and she has no play. Runs it right back into the pitcher's circle. And we'll have a courtesy runner here with 2 outs as Haley McCasland comes out to run for the pitcher, wearing easily one of the highest numbers we've ever seen in a softball game, number 89. Two outs and a runner at first base. As the runner takes off immediately for second, the throw down is not in time. Jill Powers late to cover the bag, and she immediately gestures to the pitcher that that was her mistake. She still nearly got there in time to swipe a tag down on the runner, but safe at second base is Magane with the steal. Two away in the inning, a 1 ball, no strike count on Renee Poirier, who did have an RBI single in her last at bat. Sends one right back to the pitcher's circle, in and out of the glove of Atherton, but she's able to get the throw to first base in time for the out that retires the side. So no damage done on the scoreboard here in the top of the 3rd inning. We head right to the bottom half of the 3rd. Still a 2-0 lead for KP here on Milford TV. Ready to go for the home half of the 3rd inning, and first pitch swinging. Caitlin DeCapua grounds it on 1 hop right back to the pitcher. Magane fires to first base, and Caitlin DeCapua retired on a single pitch. That's 7 straight retired to open the game for the King Philip starter, now dealing with the number 8 hitter, Maddie Bonvino, who fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. Maddie Bonvino having a key role in Milford's extra inning victory against Franklin here last week. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Again, hit hard to the backstop. Bonvino hitting a solo home run in the 3rd inning of that game to tie the game at 1. And then in the bottom of the 9th inning, with Milford trailing by 3, Bonvino came through with a 2-run single to cut it back to a 1-run game. So 2 absolutely crucial at-bats that led up to Milford's dramatic victory. A 1 ball, 2 strike pitch on the way, and this one fought off foul. Bonvino, just a freshman on this roster, but already really showing some solid contribution at the plate. Swings and misses here to go down on strikes. It's the third strikeout of the outing for Magane. As now the number 9 hitter, Jenny Levine, stands in, trying to break up the rhythm of the KP starter, Kali Magane, looking for her third consecutive 1-2-3 inning to open this game. An 0-1 pitch on the way, and that narrowly misses the outside corner, and it evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Magane winds and fires. This one hit foul. A swinging bunt attempt out of Jenny Levine. She kept it in the air, foul down the third base line. It just eluded the grasp of Jen Hutnian, the third baseman. Gives Levine another chance, down 1-2. Here's the pitch, high and away. The top of the Milford order lurking in the on-deck circle with 2 outs and the bases empty. Here's the pitch, misses away. Levine working the count full. Milford would certainly take their first base runner via the walk if they can get it. Here's the payoff pitch, and it is swung on and missed for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks to end the inning for Magane. She's now struck out 4 batters over the first 3 innings. And we head on to the 4th. It is King Philip 2 and Milford 0 here on coverage of Lady Hawks softball on Milford TV. Brianna Sebio leads things off in the top of the 4th inning, responsible for one of the 2 runs that King Philip has on the scoreboard, as she looks at ball 1 high against Allie Atherton. Brianna Sebio with an RBI single, with 2 outs back in the 1st inning to drive in the Lady Warriors' 2nd run. An even count now of a ball and a strike. Atherton's next pitch high. Sebio thought about it, but takes ball 2. Atherton has not yet recorded a strikeout through her first 3 innings of work. Falls behind the batter here, 3 balls and a strike. She does have 1 walk, that coming back in the 1st inning. Sebio in the driver's seat in the at-bat, up 3 balls and a strike as Atherton gathers, winds, and delivers. This pitch is lined to shortstop, an easy grab for Jill Powers for out number 1. Powers committing an error on a tough, hard ground ball last inning. It has made a couple of very good plays as well. That one recording the first out in the inning, and now first pitch swinging. Jen Hutnian sends one out to center field. A late break for Sydney Pounds. Ends up making the one-handed catch on the move for out number 2. Two up and 2 down, and now here is Casey Hutnian, who flew out to center field to lead off the 2nd inning. As the wind howls through the field once again. It's not the cold, harsh wind we've experienced at Pheno Field with some of the baseball games we've covered this season, but kicking up the infield dirt, making it difficult at times for these players out there on the field. Here's an 0-1 pitch up and away. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, and the base is empty. Next pitch is hit foul off to the right, out of play. Still overall a terrific day to come out and take in some softball here at Milford High School with the warm temperatures and the sunshine. Still a 1-2 count as Atherton sends in her next pitch. In on the hands, and Hutnian spoils it foul. Kaylee Bench, the designated player, waits on deck. Atherton 1 pitch away from her second 1-2-3 inning of her outing. As this one is a called strike 3, freezing Hutnian with that pitch. There is the first strikeout of the game for Allie Atherton, and a nice 1-2-3 top of the 4th inning. Milford will send the top of the order to the plate in the bottom of the 4th, looking for their first base runner against Kali Magane. We'll see if they can do it next here on Milford TV. We will see now what adjustments this Milford lineup can make second time through against the very tough starting pitcher for King Philip, Kali Magane, who retired all 9 Milford batters the first time through the lineup. Now here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Sydney Pounds grabbing her second at bat, starting off with a foul ball out of play. And now the 0-1 pitch on the way, another foul ball. These batters trying to get that timing down. Nothing in 2 the count on the Milford leadoff hitter, Sydney Pounds. Magane's next pitch up high. Pounds able to hold up on the swing. One ball and 2 strikes now. And a swing and a miss on a rising fastball out of the hand of Magane. There is strikeout number 5. Magane has struck out the last 3 consecutive batters. This Milford offense has been so hot in this first half of the season, but so far a very quiet day. A 1-0 pitch here, and Emily Pierre-Gustavo lifts it over towards first base, where Poirier is able to make the catch. And again, it is 2 up and 2 down. Over Milford's last 5 games, they have scored at least 6 runs in all of those games. But the offense will have to wait for another inning as first pitch swinging. Taylor LeBrun sends a pitch nearly in the same spot as Pierre-Gustavo. Another pop-up to first base and a lightning quick 1-2-3 bottom of the 4th inning. We head right to the 5th. Milford still without a base runner against King Philip, who leads it 2-0 here on Milford TV. Allie Atherton has retired the last 4 batters that she's faced. Set to go up against batters 8, 9, and 2 in the King Philip order, as we have already entered into the 5th inning. The First pitch misses inside for ball one. This game about 55 minutes old. We've seen a grand total of 3 hits so far in the game, all of those on the King Philip side. Here's hit number 4, as this one is shot into the gap by Kali Bench. Quickly attended to out there by the Milford outfield. It will hold the designated player to a very long single to lead off the 5th inning. So make that 4 hits now on the day for King Philip. They scored 2 runs back in the 1st inning on back-to-back RBI base hits from Renee Poirier and Brianna Cebio. They have the leadoff runner on base here in the 5th inning with Ashley Hessian, the number 9 hitter, now at the plate. Swings at an inside pitch. Hessian fouling that one off herself. Walking it off a bit in foul territory down the 3rd base line. The home plate umpire dusting off home plate. A little courtesy to the batter to give her a chance to recover from that foul ball. Hessian now back in that right side batter's box with a count of 0-1. Batting with a runner at first base and no outs here in the top of the 5th. The runner takes off as this pitch is bunted down the 3rd base line, but it rolls foul. We've heard plenty of chatter out of the visitors' dugout so far in this game, but it's been a quiet day over on the Milford bench. Kali Bench, the runner at first base. Hessian at the plate, down 0-2. The pitch, and that's a foul tip that glances away from Taylor LeBrun, and it stays 0-2. Atherton looking to grab the first out of this 5th inning. Here's the pitch. Again, grounded foul. It was Kelly Reichert who made the start in Milford's last game against Taunton. Went the first 3 2/3 innings. Atherton then came in relief. She did not allow a hit over her 2 1/3 innings of relief, facing 10 batters. And a called strike 3 here against Hessian. She did not like the call, stood in the box for a moment, but now retreats to the dugout. The 2nd strikeout for Atherton. Both of her Ks so far in the game have been on called 3rd strikes. 1 out, and the runner remains at first base as we go back up to the top of the lineup. And Krista Wagner, who reached on a bunt single in the 3rd inning, but then was retired on a bit of an unusual play. Takes a pitch low for ball 1. Wagner with good speed. She demonstrated that on that bunt single back in the 3rd. Atherton was able to get to the ball quickly, but had no chance to record the out at first base. Here's the 1-0. Looking to bunt again was Wagner. The pitch gets away from LeBrun, and the runner moves up to second base. Stolen base for Kali Bench. She's in scoring position now with 1 out. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count now on Wagner as that pitch drifts up and out of the strike zone. Up goes the chatter out of the visitors' dugout once again with a count in the favor of the batter. Krista Wagner takes a called strike. It is a 3-ball, 1-strike count with 1 out. And a runner in scoring position at second base. As this pitch is chopped on the ground towards first base, Ali Pierre-Gustavo takes it to the bag herself for the second out of the inning. On to third base goes Bench with now 2 away. 3 unassisted on the out. And now here is Maddie Ogrizik, who has walked and grounded out so far this afternoon. Showing bunt on the first pitch. And Ogrizik takes a called strike 1. Ogrizik with a run scored back in the first inning. As the home plate umpire calls timeout as another hard gust of wind this time blows in straight in from center field. Atherton ahead of the batter, 0-1. As this pitch is hit to the opposite field, out into left. And the catch is made out there by Jenny Levine. It looked like she momentarily lost sight of the ball, but was able to recover to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. King Philip strands a runner at third base, and we head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the score remaining 2-0 in favor of the King Philip Lady Warriors here on coverage of Milford High School softball on Milford TV. 2 runs, 4 hits, and no errors for King Philip. No runs, no hits, and 1 error for the Lady Hawks, as they will send the middle of their order to the plate against Kali Magane here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A first pitch ball to Ali Pierre-Gustavo. Now Magane falling behind in the count, 2-0. That has been a rare occurrence so far on the day, as Magane has yet to yield a single base runner against Milford. Here's her 2-0 pitch. It's high and away. And Ali Pierre-Gustavo, a chance to really be patient here at the plate, with her team needing base runners. Here's the 3-0, and it's right down the pike for a called strike 1. Will she be taking here, or will she have the green light on 3-1? Here's the pitch. She swings away and sends it in the air out to shallow right field. It is the second baseman still on the infield dirt, Casey Hutnian, who is able to make the catch. So the first 3-ball count we've seen out of Kali Magane so far in the game, but she's still able to battle back and get the pop out from Ali Pierre-Gustavo for the first out here in the 5th. And now Maggie Farrell swings early in the count and sends it foul and out of play. Farrell fouled out to the catcher in her only plate appearance so far. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a called strike as Magane paints the outside corner. No balls and 2 strikes. As Farrell holds up on the swing and takes a pitch low and away. Stays alive at 1-2. And now a line drive caught at second base by Casey Hutnian. It's been rare that we've even seen a solid connection between bat and ball for the Milford Bats against Kali Magane, but a sharp line drive off the bat of Farrell, but right into the glove of Hutnian, as now this one is chopped on the ground to third base. Jen Hutnian has it. The throw to first just beats Jill Powers for the out that ends the inning. Another 1-2-3 frame for Magane. Magane has now retired the first 15 batters she has faced in this game. And we move on to the bottom of the fifth inning with King Philip leading Milford 2-0 here on Milford TV. It is the starting pitcher for King Philip, Kali Magane, who will lead off the batting order here in the sixth inning. 3, 4, and 5 due up for the Lady Warriors, and Magane swings at the first pitch, lofts it out to shallow right field. A long run in for Maggie Farrell, and she makes the basket catch. Playing relatively deep out in right field, but she's able to charge in and make the catch. And a one-pitch out for Allie Atherton to lead off the top of the sixth. And now here is Renee Poirier, who is 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored. She looks to bunt on the first pitch, sends it hard back to the pitcher's circle with the second baseman, Emily Pierre-Gustavo, covering the bag. Milford's able to record the out just barely. The first baseman, Allie Pierre-Gustavo, was charging in on the bunt, but good communication in the infield defense for Milford, so that out technically goes 1-4 as they were able to get the runner at first base. 2 very quick outs, only 2 pitches thrown so far in the inning for Atherton. And now this pitch goes low and inside to Sebio. These 4 and 5 hitters in the KP lineup, the difference in the game, delivering back-to-back RBI hits back in the first. We have not seen much in the way of offense since then, as Sebio chops one foul down the third base line. It evens up the count at 1-1. Allie Atherton allowing just 2 singles since that first inning rally. A runner also reaching base on an error on the shortstop. But it's been a solid outing for the Milford starting pitcher, as this pitch is in the air, in foul ground down the left field line. It's Jill Powers, the shortstop, who ranges over just a step into foul ground to make the catch that ends the inning. A 1-2-3 top of the sixth. Just 6 outs left for Milford as they look to get their first base runner and get back into this game. They trail KP 2-0 as we bring you coverage of Milford High School athletics on Milford TV. Caitlin DeCapua, Maddie Bonvino, and Jenny Levine, the 3 batters expected in this bottom of the sixth inning, as Milford is running out of time to generate some offense, in danger of losing their second straight game. As Caitlin DeCapua takes the first pitch low for ball 1. And a line drive back up the middle for a base hit. Caitlin DeCapua with a lead-off single here in the bottom of the sixth inning, and it breaks up the perfect game bid for Kali Magane. She had retired every batter she had faced through the first 5 innings. 15 in a row retired for the King Philip starting pitcher before DeCapua is able to come through with a solid single up the middle. And Milford finally has their first base runner. And we'll see a courtesy runner now as Shannon Cormier comes out to run for DeCapua. And we'll see how Magane bounces back now, the first bit of adversity she has faced all day. And delivers another hard fastball in for strike 1 to Maddie Bonvino, the number 8 hitter, up at the plate. Bonvino, a strikeout victim back in the 3rd inning. Looking to bunt here as the pitch gets past the glove of the catcher, DiFilippo, and moving up to second base is DeCapua. One ball and 1 strike is the count. Milford now with a runner in scoring position, trying to seize momentum here in the late innings. Here's the 1-1, another bunt attempt offered at and missed by Bonvino. Dangerous offering a bunt at a pitch that high up in the strike zone. In all likelihood, you make contact. That ball is an easy pop-up. And now a swing and a miss for strike 3. A tough at bat for Bonvino. She strikes out for the 2nd time in the game. That is strikeout number 6 in all for Magane. And now here's the number 9 hitter, Jenny Levine. She also struck out in her only at-bat so far today and takes a called strike 1 here to open up this at-bat in the 6th. Shannon Cormier running for Caitlin DeCapua at second base with 1 out in the inning. An even count of 1-1, and now you can finally hear some chatter rising up out of the home dugout. Not much for the Milford bench to really cheer about in this game. A lot of quick innings offensively for Milford, but they have the tying run at the plate here. A 1-ball, 2-strike count on Levine, and she waves and misses at a pitch for strike 3. So Magane answers back with back-to-back strikeouts after allowing the single to DeCapua. And now here is the leadoff batter, Sydney Pounds, up with 2 outs in the inning, looking to drive that runner in from second. Takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. The 8, 9, and 1 batters in the Milford lineup today, a combined 0 for 6 with 6 strikeouts. Sydney Pounds taking a borderline pitch on the inner edge. It had her spinning out of the way, but it evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The next pitch, and she goes around again trying to get out of the way of the pitch, but the bat head crosses the plate. And it's now a 1-ball, 2-strike count with 2 outs in the inning. Magane into the windup. Here's the pitch, and it's a called strike 3. And the bottom of the 6th inning comes to a quick end. Milford breaks up the perfect game, but Magane ends up striking out the side to end the inning, and we head to the 7th with King Philip out in front 2-0 here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks softball on Milford TV. Well, the perfect game is no more for Kali Magane, but she bears down and gets 3 straight strikeouts to end the bottom of the 6th inning. And again, Allie Atherton will look to hold the King Philip bats off the board to give her team a chance in the bottom of the 7th inning, down by just 2. And this is a line drive out to shallow right field. That touches down for a base hit. Jen Hutnian with the 5th King Philip hit of the day. Leads off this top of the 7th inning with a single. Leadoff batter is aboard for King Philip in the 7th, and now here is Casey Hutnian. And Atherton doing some maintenance work in front of the pitching rubber before she sends in the first pitch of this at bat. Hutnian 0 for 2 with a fly out to center field and a called strikeout. The runner takes off for second base as this pitch is bunted in the air, foul, but it grabs a piece of the backstop for strike one. King Philip trying to get an insurance run into scoring position. This has been a fast-moving game to this point. Only 6 hits total. No runs scored since the first inning as they have the runner hung up about a third of the way down the line between first and second. LeBrun just looks the runner back to the first base bag, and Jen Hutnian able to get back in without a throw. Casey Hutnian, meanwhile, with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Infield in tight. The runner takes off. This pitch bunted in fair ground, fielded by Ali Pierre-Gustavo. A quick throw to second base, and they double up the runner who had rounded second base. What a heads-up play. Ali Pierre-Gustavo charging in, fielding the bunt, throwing to Emily Pierre-Gustavo at first for the out. And a very quick release on a throw from Emily Pierre-Gustavo down to second base, and they double up the runner who had drifted off the bag. Great defense by the Milford infield. And there are 2 away now in the top of the 7th with the bases clear. And a first pitch strike now into Kaylee Bench, the designated player. She singled and stole a base back in the 5th inning. Ended up stranded at third. And takes a very nice pitch from Allie Atherton that grabs the inside edge. 0-2 the count. 2 outs in the inning. The righty batter Bench settles in. Atherton back on the pitching rubber. Gathers herself out in front. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's too low. Bench doesn't chase, and the count goes to 1-2. Looking ahead to the bottom of the 7th inning, Milford will have the bats that they would like to see up in the situation. Batters 2, 3, and 4. Emily Pierre-Gustavo, Taylor LeBrun, and Ali Pierre-Gustavo. They hope the deficit is just 2. Atherton looking to finish off the top of the 7th inning. As the wind swirls around the field once again, Atherton is ready with her 1-2 pitch, and it's sent foul and out of play. And Bench will see another pitch. Bench 1 for 2 overall on the day. A ground out to go along with the single. Atherton is ready. Another 1-2 pitch. And a little bit high. Bench refuses to chase despite being down in the count, and now works it back to even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Atherton's next pitch misses high again. And it is now a full count with 2 away in the inning. Should Bench reach, the number 9 hitter Ashley Hessian would have an opportunity to come to the plate. The payoff pitch. And this is hit in the air out to right center field. Out comes Maggie Farrell, but she can't make the catch. She is able to get a glove on it. It prevents the chance for extra bases for Kali Bench, but she will reach. A 2-out single for Kali Bench. And so the base running miscue at second base really apparent now. May have had an opportunity for an insurance run on that shallow fly ball. As we'll now see a courtesy runner at first base. Kali Bench heads to the bench. And again, it is Kali Magane who comes out, number 89, to run. So a 2-hit day out of the number 8 spot for Kali Bench. Puts a 2-out runner at first base ahead of Ashley Hessian, who is 0 for 2 on the afternoon. She lined out to Jill Powers at shortstop to end the second inning and struck out looking in the 5th. And after the umpires get everything settled with the courtesy runner now ready for this at-bat to commence between Hessian and Atherton. Here's the first pitch, and it's looped out to deep shortstop. Playing it on the backhand and keeping it from going to the outfield is Jill Powers. That holds the runners at first and second base, but it's the 3rd single in the inning allowed by Atherton. So again, that base running miscue at second base really crucial in this inning. It remains a 2-0 game, but now runners at first and second base. And KP is able to bring the top of the order up to the plate. Off the end of the bat, here's a cue shot out into left field. Jenny Levine's throw is cut off at third base. They won't send it to the plate. And around from second base to score is Kali Magane. It is an RBI single for Krista Wagner, swinging at the first pitch. And King Philip indeed able to grab some insurance as they now take a 3-0 lead. Hessian advances to second base. And now the infield in very tight with Maddie Ogrizik at the plate. She swings at the first pitch, pops it up foul behind the plate. And no room for Taylor LeBrun as that kicked off the inclined fencing at the top of the backstop. And strike one on Ogrizik, who has walked, grounded out to the pitcher, and lined out to left field. So Milford able to get that unusual double play to clear the bases. An opportunity to end the inning quickly. But KP able to piece together 3 straight singles. And now they send a ground ball back to the pitcher circle. Atherton fields and throws to first base for the out that ends the inning. But again, as I mentioned, the 3 straight singles allow King Philip to push across an insurance run here in the top of the 7th inning. So Milford will be staring at a 3-run deficit as they go up against the hard-throwing Kali Magane, looking to finish off the complete game effort. We will see the 2, 3, and 4 batters in the Milford lineup come to the plate in the bottom of the 7th inning when we return here on Milford TV. Emily Pierre-Gustavo to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning and takes the first pitch for a called strike one against Kali Magane, allowing her first hit of the game to lead off last inning. The only hit and only base runner she has surrendered. A borderline pitch going against Pierre-Gustavo to drop her down in the count, 0-2. The fans behind home plate don't like it. Here is the 0-2 pitch. It's hit on the ground to shortstop, played cleanly by Hessian. And a good accurate throw across gets Pierre-Gustavo for the first out here in the 7th. An 0 for 3 day for Emily Pierre-Gustavo. Milford shut out 1-0 by Mansfield in the opening game of this 2015 season. They have not been shut out since, but 2 outs away from that fate here this afternoon. As again, Magane starts off ahead in the count with a first pitch strike to Taylor LeBrun, who gets into this pitch, sends it foul down the right field line, right at the edge of the field of play, and the out is recorded. A chalk line from the edge of the first base dugout area all the way down the right field line, marking the edge of the playable field out there. Brianna Sebio going as far as she could and is able to reel in that out just prior to the edge of the field of play. So Milford very quickly down to their last out in this game. And it will take something from Ali Pierre-Gustavo if the game is to continue. Takes a pitch low, ahead in the count 2-0. Pierre-Gustavo worked a 3-0 count against Magane in her last at-bat before ultimately popping out to second base. That takes a called strike on the outer edge. Pierre-Gustavo with a couple of dramatic at-bats here at home in the team's last home game against Franklin. Trying to pull one out here with 2 outs and the base is empty. Just gets a piece of that pitch and sends it foul to the backstop. And the Lady Hawks are down to their last strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and the base is empty. Magane winds and fires. Takes a little something off of that pitch. And Pierre-Gustavo is able to foul it again to the backstop. Maggie Farrell on deck, hoping to get a chance. The windup and the pitch. And this is hit on the ground to shortstop, and it catches Ashley Hessian in the face. Ali Pierre-Gustavo will reach, and immediately Coach DeVito out to check on the King Philip shortstop. So Molly O'Brien now in as the new shortstop as Hessian comes out of the game. The game about to resume after that brief injury delay. Ali Pierre-Gustavo is at first base with 2 outs in the inning. Maggie Farrell a chance to bat here against Magane. Here's the first pitch, and it's low for ball 1. Farrell fouled out to the catcher and lined out to second base in her 2 previous at-bats. Sends a fly ball out to center field. Underneath to make the catch is Krista Wagner for the out that ends the ball game. So Milford is able to get a base runner here with 2 outs in the 7th inning, but Farrell lines out to center field for the final out. And King Philip with an impressive victory over Milford this afternoon. These 2 teams with a rivalry that dates back a good long time. You go back to the back-to-back state championship years for Milford. These 2 schools playing some very tough games prior to those state championships. King Philip defeating Milford, or excuse me, wedged in between that run of championships was a loss to King Philip. So these 2 teams have played some tough games. Another tough competitive game here today, but the pitching for Kali Magane really the story. She pitches a complete game shutout, allowing just 2 hits to this high-powered Milford offense. She strikes out 8 in the outing and picks up the victory. And Allie Atherton takes the tough luck loss despite pitching 7 solid innings herself, allowing just 3 runs on 8 hits. She struck out 2 and walked a single batter. So King Philip wins it by a final score of 3-0. And Milford will have to shake off this loss quickly because they will be right back here on the field tomorrow afternoon with another Kelly Rex showdown against the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers, a game which we will bring you on Milford TV. So we will be right back here with the coverage tomorrow night. But that wraps things up for this afternoon. For Rob O'Keefe, I am Tim Coette. Your final score, one final time, King Philip shuts out the Milford Lady Hawks by a final score of 3-0. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.